Welcome to Toffee TV, proudly backed by Ladbrokes for the season. It's the match preview, Everton versus West Brom. It doesn't feel that long ago since we played West Brom. Weird the way these fixtures work, isn't it? Like, we played Chelsea twice before we played West Brom.
Yeah.
And now we're playing West Brom twice in the space of a month.
They always have this turnaround fixture, don't they? I don't know why.
I don't know why myself.
Strange.
But yeah, West Brom at home. And obviously we've on the back of 4 defeats in a row, 3 of them, you know, against 3 very good sides above us in the table. And I suppose this game represents a chance to see, I suppose, where we are and where we're going for the rest of the season. It's against the team who are bottom 3. Just won the first game under Alan Pardew.
First game since about August.
Yeah. So I do think this represents where we are in terms of where we're going to finish the season. I think, as I said, we've just been beaten by 3 good sides, obviously, one in the FA Cup. But before those games, you know, obviously Bournemouth away and West Brom away, where difficult. I think we made them more difficult, or the squad was in a position where they were more difficult. But obviously the games before that, the likes of Swansea, the likes of Huddersfield, the likes of Newcastle, I think you're seeing us, we were better than the teams around us. So I'm hoping this game will be the start of getting ourselves sorted and getting ourselves into a position where we're comfortable and we can maybe start to develop things. But I think this is, before we go any further, I've got to say this is an absolute must-win fixture. So we'll go from there.
It is a must-win game, and a few weeks ago there was quite a few points between the pair of us. You know, when Allardyce came in, we got on a good little run and we kind of put the daylight between us, and it was sorted that now. Let's look up, and we still are looking up because it is bunched. You know, it's really
I think
bunched.
It's 7 points between us and the bottom 3, and 7 points between us and Burnley, who are in 7th place. So
we're right in the middle then, basically, aren't we? But I think when you go back to the start of the bad run, Bournemouth, you know, we didn't play well at West Brom. They missed chances, we missed it. You know, Nias nearly won it for us at the end, but it was a poor performance. It's a terrible game, wasn't it?
It was.
You know, when we went to Bournemouth, and I think we were walking wounded at Bournemouth. I think people were tired. There'd been quite a few games, and we lost with a deflection in the 90th minute. You know, that was a game we shouldn't have lost. Really, I know they had a couple of chances, but we missed opportunities as well. We didn't play well down there. We got beat. You know, the other games, better teams have beaten us. You have to say that. You know, Liverpool, yeah, okay. For half an hour we more than matched them at Anfield, and they won it late on. You know, Tottenham destroyed us really. Man United first half at home I thought was okay. I thought second half we were poor. So it gives us a chance to get back in with the rest, I suppose, and go, right, let's roll our sleeves up. Let's get these 3 points today. You know, if we win, we're on 30 points. Probably about right. And then we've got another home game to come after that, haven't we, which is Leicester City. So it's imperative that we win this game, because if we were to lose it or draw it, you know, the results were terrible for us really at the weekend. A lot of teams around us and the likes of these got results. So,
well, I think the reason why was a lot of teams below were playing each other. So there was you wanted loads of draws, but obviously teams won.
But the likes of Bournemouth beat Arsenal.
Listen, the gap is 7 points now between us and the bottom 3. So we've got that 7-point cushion, and there's a lot of teams between us and them, and there'll be a lot of teams fearing a lot more than we are. But I think it's important that
it's momentum, isn't it?
Well, I think it's important that we start this group of fixtures in the right manner, and we go and play a team. But I don't know, playing a team in the bottom 3. Who I think, you know, scored last weekend off a couple of set pieces, which they always have been dangerous off West Brom. And it's important that we go and we beat them and we get back to doing what we were doing so well, is just defending well, digging in and hoping that the class rises up. And I think that's what we did against Swansea. I think that's what we did against Huddersfield. I think that's what we did against West Ham. We just simply defended well, and the front players took care of the rest. Now that's what we've got to go for now. Defend well, and we should beat these. You know, I know we've been shot shy in the last few games, but you'd hope if we give these little encouragement, then we will go forward. And obviously with, you know, Toffee making his debut, home debut, and Walcott possibly making his home debut, then you've got more ammunition, we've got better players, you've got more options, and it's just about driving on and winning the game. Because, you know, if we win a game here, as you just said, we go to 30 points, we get within 3 games really of being safe. But it takes that pressure off. You're not just, at the moment, I think we're all sort of just having a little look over our shoulders and being a little bit now we've got 2 home games now. Okay, the Leicester game, they're both difficult games in their own right. The Leicester game's a more difficult game because they've got more players that can hurt us. But you think, well, if we win this one and go into the Leicester game, you know, there's 10 days I think between the two anyway, so you have that little bit of a rest. You play them at home, there's a chance you can win the game, of course there is. Then suddenly you're thinking, that's fine, that's sorted, we're beating teams in and around us. And I think that's what's important about this game. It's about fans getting the confidence back in the team and saying, all right, we're not a great side, we're not even a good side, we're an average side in the Premier League, and we can beat the other average teams. And I think it's about getting that confidence back. It's about the team getting that confidence back, because I think when you play 3 good teams on the spin and you get beat 3 times, you lose focus of
where you are
and what your levels are, because you're just going, oh, we've been beaten again, and with this and with that.
This is what happened when Ronald Koeman was sacked and David Undreath came in, and we were going from defeat to defeat, and everyone was getting lower and lower, and it was, you were looking and going, we don't even look like we can score a goal. Now everyone's kind of forgot what it was like at the end of Ronald Koeman's reign and David Undreath early on with the goal. Do you remember that? We don't look like we've got a goal in us. Then all of a sudden everyone's focusing on Sam Allardyce. We only had 4 shots and it's all because of him. This has been a problem all season. It's a problem under Ronald Koeman, it's a problem under David Undreath, and it's now a problem under Sam Allardyce. They're creating the chances to score on goals. But we did score goals when Allardyce came in. We got a few goals on the run, and 3 home games. We had 4, 2 and 3, didn't we? So, you know, 9 goals in his first 3 home games. And then we've had Chelsea and Manchester United, the other 2 home games. So 2 teams in the top 4. So it's been a difficult run for us. But you're right, you're absolutely right. When you play those teams and they're stronger than you, and you lose and you lose and you lose, all of a sudden you start going, we're rubbish, we just get beat every game. It's in your head, and then like you've just said, if we were to then beat West Brom and Leicester, everyone would be like, you know about, we can catch, you know, Burnley here easily. And I've said this all along. I believe Everton will finish 7th or 8th, and at the moment we could finish 15th. But I've just had this thing, when I look at our squad and the players, forget the top 6, we can't lay a glove on Arsenal. They're still better than us, but the other 5, to me, just at the moment, there's a gulf. And there wasn't a gulf last season, but there is a gulf this season for me when I look at it. And we've got to arrest that, but that's for the future, that isn't for now. But I think that the rest of them, we're as good as any of them. Leicester are dangerous, don't get me wrong. Leicester are probably, when you look at them, are probably the best side outside the top 6. Burnley are a tough side,
that's
they're
the
not,
thing, isn't it?
They're not.
If they get ahead, Burnley get ahead of you. It is difficult to turn around because of the way you play.
When I look at the rest of the teams, I just think we're better than them, we're better than them, we're better than them. But we've got to prove it. There's no point me saying it, but we kind of did prove it when we were playing them. And if we'd have been 1 game a week, if we'd have gone Chelsea, and then the next time we played would have been a week later against West Brom, even 3 days, even the Wednesday, and then Bournemouth was a week. For me, I think those 2 results would have been different at that time, because we had a good bit of momentum. We've hit a wall, and now it's about restarting that momentum. And if we can do it against these, everyone will feel better. The players, us, and probably more importantly us. Really, because we're the ones who are going to get them through. Those players can train, and new players are coming in, and they'll be getting the information. They'll feel all right. If they then come out on Saturday and we're all like, oh, now there we go again, people are bored, and blah, blah, blah. You know what, Goodison is a notoriously difficult place to play when the fans aren't interested, or the fans are anxious or you know what it's like. It can be horrible. It was horrible under Martinez towards the end. It was horrible under Ronald Koeman towards the end. Just the atmosphere. Not that it wasn't toxic towards Ronald Koeman, but it was flat.
Well, I think that's what's good about this game, though, with bringing players in.
Yeah,
that freshens it up, and people have got the excitement to go. Then there's an excitement about the game. Then, and I think that's what the difference is. West Brom will come, and obviously the back of a win.
But let's be honest, they're going to come and for a point, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just won at home, and they're going to try and score off set pieces. Will go, keep it tight, lads, and we'll try and nick something off set piece. What we have to do is put them on the back foot, and that means having shots early on. It means making them think that they're under pressure, making them feel like they're in a game. If they came to Goodison, it'll be burnt in your memory when Martinez was here. We had loads of shots in the end, but they only had one attempt, and they scored off it and won 1-0. And it was because everything was dead slow. I remember Ross Barkley hit the post early on before they scored. That was it. Everything was dead slow. We were having shots that were 100 miles an hour, 100 miles over the bar, but everything was pass, and the crowd were quiet, and we were all sat there bored, and we can't do that. We've got to go there and get them involved in the game. We did it last year. They came to Goodison last. It
was a big game last year, as well, for other reasons.
Well, it was, wasn't it? There was, I think that day they could have gone within a point.
Well, it was basically, if we won, the feeling was that day, if we won that day, we had 7 sewn up, which basically meant if things fell out. I think what had happened as well that weekend is, was it the weekend Man United won the League Cup as well? So it was like that weekend, it was like
if we won and
United won, we were basically guaranteed.
But that day, if they'd have beat us, there'd have been a point in. They went the other way, so it gave us that, and we knew that they had loads of tough games coming up. But what I mean is that it was a tough game that day, and we got the job done because we knew we had to, and the crowd were good, and I think Schneidlin scored, and I think Garner might have scored as well.
1-3 now,
I think Rom scored late on, didn't he? So we got over it there, and that's what we've got to do this weekend. We've got to get the crowd involved, but like you said, I think the new signings will give it a freshness, and everyone's got to, what we have to do as a fan base now, I think, is we have to put everything to bed. The Europa League's gone, the FA Cup's gone, it's all gone, and we've got, was it 16 games to go? Is it? 15 games, so we've got to focus.
We've got 3 games against teams in the top 6. Okay, so we've got Arsenal, City and Liverpool. They're the 2 home games as well. So everyone else we play are teams that we have a chance of beating. They're in and around us, whether they be Leicester, Burnley above us, or the teams below us. We've got to play them all now. So every game is going to be all those games are winnable, but they're also going to be there's obviously they're going to fancy us as well. So I think that's where you're right. The fans, I think, listen, there's loads of fans who don't like Allardyce. Of course, we're not stupid. We know that there's loads of fans who are just sick of this season, want it to be over. But I think what's got to happen is that let's get to a position where we've done the hard work, we've won the games that we need, so we can go, you know what, everyone can relax now. But in relaxing, I think that's what will drive us on. And the sooner we get that done by beating teams like this and getting to that 40 point mark or whatever, then I think everyone will relax then and go into games not worrying, not looking over the shoulder. Because the last thing we want, whether we say we're good enough to get out of it or not, is to just be in that pack. At the moment we're just outside that pack, and it's nice, just being in the top half of the table even, it's just makes you feel better. The last thing I want, because we've already had this feeling this year, is being in there, and hell, it kept me up at night. It really did. And I don't want to go through that in the last few weeks of this, last few months of the season.
If we win Saturday, we're on 30 points, and if we were a team on 20 or 21 and you're looking at a team on 30, you'd discount them. You'd go, they've got to lose 3, we've got to win 3 just to get with them. So you're putting that space, especially with someone like these, you're putting that space between it. Stoke, I know they had a few chances, against United the other night, but they got done 3-0. They look like they're in disarray. So it's an opportunity to really spread, the point, get away from them.
But I think my point is, without being all like doom and gloom, I think for everybody, it's almost like, can we just get to that 40 point mark? Everyone relax. And you know what, if we get to that 40 point mark, then you might see people like Klassen being introduced to the if he's still at the club, Klassen being introduced and given games, and other players maybe given games, because you can dip players and he can feel like he can dip players then into the squad, into the team, and I think that's what it's all about. Just get the job done, get to that 40 points by the end by the end of February would be really, really nice, just to get to by the end of February or the middle of February, whatever.
We got games that we can move. We've got to after Leicester.
But we've got Arsenal. No. But in February we've only, I think, got everyone but Arsenal. I mean, I'd fancy Arsenal if it was at home, because it's away. Because anyone away. But if we can get to that 40-point mark.
But if we could beat West Brom and Leicester at home, and then go to Arsenal, we can go and play almost the way we did at Anfield the first time. Yeah, but having the likes of Walcott, Tosin and Luckman or Balassi on the other, so we can almost play a 5-2-3.
The thing is, though, I think by having better players in the squad, that almost means like you're saying to the team, well, like when he said, oh well, we've sorted the defence now, it's about sorting the forward line out. Well, by buying a couple of players, you've almost sorted the forward line out, so you get the defenders going back to what they were doing, and winning games by having better players on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you can go tactically, you can go back to being that boring defensive team, but having better players means that
you'll win games,
and that's all that matters at the moment.
I think we've got to. I think we're best all just forget about the style and substance. Let's just get the wins. These are better players. If we get chances, let's take the chances. Let's get the games won. And if we can get it done, by early March, if it's done and dusted, we can then play the last 6, 7, 8 weeks out. Like you say, trying different things. I know what really should happen is you should be playing those weeks out thinking, how do we hit the ground running next season? Who deserves to be here? Does he deserve to? Is he part of my squad for next season? Listen, Sam Allardyce might not even be here, but then again he might be. But even if he isn't, we should be looking at what these lads have got to offer, so that he either knows in the summer, or is the fella who's coming in next has got some real video evidence to say he's done it, he hasn't.
What's good is you're making players fight for the positions without that worry of I think, and that's been the big problem over the last few weeks, and I think Sam Allardyce has mentioned it himself. It's he was brought in to do a job, and in doing that job he hasn't got time to look at this player or look at that player, so he's basically just gone, lads, sorry, but I ain't got time for this. I haven't got time to experiment with Sandro up front, or
it's not good, that though, is it?
I know it's not, but that's not.
I know the needs must. I know that.
Or class, and he's basically saying, I think he's mentioning, he says he looks a good player, but he's just not up to the level. He's not up to the level, and I just think that you can get the job done, get through games like this, get to that level, and then you can go, well, you can come in now. We'll have a look at you better,
without the pressure.
Without that pressure, we'll give Luke Garbett a couple of games. We'll get him registered. We'll give him a couple of games at left back and just see
5 Lassets out.
Yeah, or see what he's got. See what he's got in him, or then maybe then you're going, we'll bring Seamus Coleman back in. You know what I mean? Like if he's training, but you might think he might be fit, but he might be thinking, I can't risk. But I'll stay now. The way he's used Balassi, he probably wouldn't think like that. But that might be things he might be thinking. Well, he's more up to the level. But then he might go, well, you know what? We've gone 40 points, we've gone over it, we're comfortable. Let's give Seamus Coleman a couple of games just to get him back into it. Get him ready for next season by playing games, being fit, being going into the pre-season. And all those things can happen once we get to that 40 point mark. Just please, all I'm asking for is just get to the 40 point mark as soon as possible, just so...
4 wins, isn't it?
Yeah. And what you would say about Everton, well, you've got to look at this team and go, surely you're capable of 4 wins between now and the end of the season. Don't give me that look, Baz. Don't give me that look.
I think they are. I think they're
of course they are.
I think they're capable of beating Man City at home. I think they're capable of beating Liverpool at home. But we would have to get them involved in a type of game we need to play, and the crowd would have to be involved. And yeah, listen, if those kind of teams play to their full level, they should beat us. But you know what? Teams don't always play to their full level. We've seen Man City at Anfield at the weekend getting involved with the crowd and everything, that affected them. And I'm not saying we can press the way Liverpool do, but Liverpool were brilliant but they also had a day where they punished every City mistake, and we might need to do that even against teams at our level, where if they make errors, make sure we're the team punished.
I think the most important thing is about Saturday is that we defend well, first and foremost. From things like set pieces, that might mean someone like Ashley Williams coming back in.
Should be in anyway.
Defend them properly, and then letting the better players take care of the game. And as I said before, that's what we did against Swansea, that's what we did against West Ham, that's what we did against Huddersfield. We defended, made sure they didn't get through, and then Wayne Rooney, Sigurdsson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they're the ones who took over and won us those games. And I think if we do the same on Saturday, the same should apply. We're at home, and as you said, these will come for a point, almost like we went to a point at their place, and just having that little bit of extra quality should hopefully see us through.
It'll be a tough game, but if it's about against teams like this, it's about getting in front. And if we can get the first goal, it puts them on the back foot. They open the game up then, and then hopefully the likes of Walcott's pace. Towson's finishing,
and then what you've got is, if we do win, we've got 10 points between us and them, and 10
days left,
and that's a massive. For those teams at the bottom looking up and thinking we've got to close down 10 points. They're not thinking about that.
No, and we become one less than it's. You're playing in that area, and ultimately. And what normally happens is it plays out between 6 teams really from now on, but we have to make sure we're not one of those 6.
And listen, and then on the flip side, if Burnley don't win, we're 4 points closer.
Well, they're struggling, aren't they?
The squad's catching up.
Yeah, but they've hit a brick wall.
Exactly. So we are suddenly thinking, well, let's go and catch them.
Yeah.
And everything turns on its head, doesn't it? And then you are, like you said, you are going, you know what, we might get 7th this season. And who's to say 7th place won't be a European place?
That's the thing, but it's momentum, isn't it? It's momentum. If we can get our momentum going again, if we could win, like we beat West Brom at the weekend, that, like you said, there's 30 points, there's 10 days then. That's the most he'll have had to work with the play. Okay, they'll have a couple of days off, of course they will, but the gap will be the most. They'll have lots of days on the training ground, integrating new players. Might even have a left-footed left-back by the time we play Leicester. They're in, ready to go for that game. We get past Leicester, you're going to Arsenal with a couple of back-to-back wins, bit of confidence. You could go there and go, we ain't doing what we done at Wembley. We're going to go here, we're going to be tight, maybe nick a draw at the Emirates, or nick a win and do it like some teams do. Go away and scrape a win, and then you come home with more winnable games. We've got Brighton to play at Goodison, we've got Newcastle to play at Goodison, teams round the bottom. Crystal Palace to play at Goodison, so we've got winnable game. I mean, Palace game be tough, but it's winnable. And what we need to do between now and the end of the season is win a couple of away games. That is what we have to do. We have to go to like to Watford and spank them,
Burnley,
and go to Burnley and get a result, and go to other teams who are down there at the bottom and go, you know what, we're better than you, and we're going to show you that we're better, and we're going to come here and we're going to take the points, and we have to be able to do that. With better players, it's easier to do that, but it's momentum. We can get on a little run, the players are confident, then you see in the finish line getting closer, the fans relax, the players relax, and we can win games. And then, like you say, you can plan a bit then for next season, but at the moment we're right in it, and it's all about Saturday. Get this win, and everyone
get this win,
better.
Get a good night's sleep, and and go on from there. So let us know your thoughts in the comments anyway. It's got to be 3 points. It's got to be 3 points. Playing at home, playing against a team in the bottom 3, got to be 3 points. What's it got to be? It's got to be 3 points. I'm going to get that etched. Got to be 3 points. Don't forget those season ticket renewals are out as well. So, get it done. Get it done, Everton. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Click the bell for alerts, and if you want more videos like the amazing Tuesday topic we did this week, which was quite amazing on the future of Everton Football Club, join us on Patreon. And if you want any of these videos as well as podcasts, they're all over on Patreon as well, so get over there, get signed up. We'll see you later.